We have liftoff. This is Pocono Mountains podcast, and I'm Jim Hamill. This week, Pocono Raceway will be starting different kinds of engines, the kind that take to the skies. August 21st and 22nd will feature 6 performers taking flight over the Tricky Triangle for the Great Pocono Raceway Airshow. PTN was there in 2019 for the first one ever and has the lowdown on the high-up excitement coming back this year. More on that in just a bit. The Poconos is a year-round destination for millions, and with 2,400 square miles of mountains, forests, lakes, and rivers, with historic downtowns and iconic family resorts, it's the perfect getaway for a weekend or an entire week. You can always find out more on PoconoMountains.com or watch Pocono Television Network streaming live 24/7 at PoconoTelevision.com. Thanks for listening to Pocono Mountains Podcast. We'll have a new episode each week highlighting lots of the fun things you can experience while you're visiting the Poconos. Subscribe to Pocono Mountains Podcast and leave a review and or comment on whatever platform you listen. This year's air show at Pocono Raceway features the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds, as well as the Geico Skytypers, Coast Guard Dolphin Search and Rescue demonstration, and much, much more. Tickets are still on sale for the 2 shows, Saturday and Sunday, and you can learn a great deal more about what's on tap at PoconoRaceway.com. As I mentioned, PTN was there in 2019 for the first air show at the Raceway, and Chris Barrett has more on what it was like then. Then a preview of this weekend's show from a recent episode of Pocono Mountains Magazine. Sit back and enjoy.
Hi folks, you are always with PTN, the Pocono Television Network. It's so great to have you here. This is a blockbuster day for PTN, it really is. Because we have a crew of guys here, pilots, all of them, B-1s, B-52s. If you know World War II aircraft, these guys have flown it all. Because today, we were just at the Great Pocono Air Show, the first one, and these gentlemen kind of made it happen. I want to get to them because they have the real story. Tora is part of the Commemorative Air Force. These guys are going to talk about, it's a nonprofit organization. They're going to talk about that too, but let's get to them. So Mike, talk to us about what Tora is and what we saw today.
Tora is a recreation of the attack on Pearl Harbor. It's a living history lesson, so the United States never to be caught unprepared again. All these guys here, we all work for no money. All the money we make for these airplanes all goes to the airplanes. They're all owned by a Commemorative Air Force, which we're members of, and we fly them all over the country. And every guy here, we've all flown together. We fly 10, 15 feet apart, so we're all very good friends. It's a very exciting act, and the public really likes it.
Talk to us about the planes.
Well, the airplanes are replica Zeros. They were all built for the movie Tora back in the late 60s for the movie Tora. And in the early 70s, a guy that had bought 6 of them had donated them to the Commemorative Air Force. And they were sitting in Harlingen kind of derelicts, and they decided to make an act with them. And a couple of our fathers, Mike and mine, and decided that they wanted to make a Pearl Harbor reenactment act with the airplanes, and so we got them flying. And in 1972 we debuted in Galveston, Texas. Now the airplanes, as far as what they are, they're actually AT-6s or Harvard Mark IVs, BT-13s, and were the Valves, and the Kates were 2 airplanes that they actually joined together. But a lot of these airplanes were not only in the movie Tora, but they were also in the movie Midway. A couple of them were in the series of Baba Black Sheep, and also the movie Final Countdown.
Well, Dan, one of the things that you said, and I know, Mike, you had said it as well, is you're not glorifying war. I thought that was a really...
That's correct. We're not glorifying war. What we're doing is just educating the younger generation, because they don't talk a lot about the attack on Pearl Harbor anymore, and a lot of people don't understand what happened that day on December 7, 1941. So what we do with 8 airplanes, and so you have to step yourself back in time to imagine what 200 airplanes coming over on the first wave, what our young sailors and servicemen and women were experiencing
and many
during
of them 18, 19 years old, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And Bill, you were a military pilot, correct?
I was. 22 wonderful years, United States Air Force. And of my flying career, which began in 1975, this by far the highlight, because the mission of sharing that story, lest we forget, with all the population of our beautiful country is really important to all of us. And it's a labor of love. And we invite you all to come out and enjoy the beautiful Pocono racetrack and see this living history lesson that will inspire you and move you in a way you're perhaps not used to.
And we're watching this. Thank you. We're watching this from the ground, and what did 130 of those planes look like? And then the second wave that came in on December 7th. How do you feel when you get in the cockpit, Mike?
It's I've been doing it 47 years, and you get excited because you're flying with these guys. You're flying close together. You're flying low to the ground, and it's a very well put on act. We do the same thing over and over and over. It's well orchestrated, and it's very, very, very safe act, and we've done it, but it's thrilling. I mean, you flying with 7 of your best friends here. And but like going by the racetrack today, we normally do the air show at an airport. Now we're flying on both sides of the flagpole. We went out and surveyed the area to make it safe, but you have to stay focused the whole time. It's thrilling, all the way up. And Patrick said earlier, we normally do it for 8 minutes, and after a while, pulling G's for about 8 minutes. We didn't care today, And when Dynamite says, "Okay, you're out of bombs and bullets," that's when we knock it off. But we wanted to go longer because we were having so much fun.
Well, it was a beautiful day for a show. Sure. I think we have time for one more question. In all the places you visited and the things you've seen, what strikes you the most about the fans who ask you questions?
The Pocono Raceway people, they call them motorheads or gearheads. We all have cars and trucks and motorcycles. We like working on the big engines and flying them. And even the motorcycle guys, we go to an air show, we have something in common, these round engines, these old airplanes. And all the old guys and even some of the new guys that are motorcycle guys and car guys, they're all patriotic guys. They're the guys that are make the world go. They're the ones doing all the work and everything.
Gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for being with us today. This has been great. It's been educational. It's been fun, which has really been cool. But what we also want to say is these gentlemen are from Tora, part of the Commemorative Air Force. It's a nonprofit organization where we put something up on the screen so you can see it, learn a little bit more about it, but also learn about history. I'm Chris Barrett for the Pocono Television Network. As always, thank you for watching. I think that's one of your compatriots, Doc.
Yeah, well, I wish he'd stand up once in a while so I could see him.
Oh, well, you know what? You know what you're going to hear on this one.
I can hear it.
I'm Chris Barrett for PTN, the Pocono Television Network. We're here with Lieutenant Colonel Doc Holliday in a time capsule. This is going to be a real good one. We're at Pocono Raceway at the first ever Great Pocono Air Show. You can hear aircraft in the background, all types of things happening. But Doc, tell us what is this? What are we in right now? What's this helicopter?
This aircraft is a UH-1H model. It's representative of the Vietnam War. And basically, our mission for my organization is to represent the U.S. Army Aviation and educate the American public about Army aviation. We take this aircraft to venues such as this, and we do it through what we call a ride program. We allow the public to actually fly on this aircraft and enjoy the thrills that the aircraft brings to them in the ride. But more importantly, we're trying to educate them, Chris. We're trying to take them back 50 some odd years ago and tell the folks about what it was like in Vietnam when we put 18 and 19-year-old kids on this aircraft and what we did with them. At the time, we dropped them in a LZ. They had no idea where they were going. There was a place on a map. We left them there, and if they got in contact, then we became their lifeline. We took their food, we took their bullets, we took their wounded out, we took their dead out, and eventually we came back in and we took them out of hell. And that's basically how the Vietnam War became known as the helicopter war, because of this aircraft. There are 58,000 names on the granite wall in Washington, D.C., and those 58,000 names were either directly or indirectly affected by this aircraft. So guys like myself, who were fortunate enough to come back and are fortunate enough to still be on the face of this earth, looked at those guys and to let them know they'll never be forgotten.
So your association, how many of the folks in your association that are really dedicating their lives to this. How many are Vietnam era veterans?
We basically have about 215 members in our organization, and out of that, I would say probably 25 to 30% of them are actually Vietnam veterans. I'm one of the older guys. I've got 3 tours in Nam. Most of the guys have 1 and 2 tours. But you know, it's a brotherhood. We do it because we have a passion for it. We have a love for what we do. As a point of interest, none of us get paid a dime. We do it because we're here to represent those who could not be here. And we do it with honor and dignity. We still maintain our professionalism while we're doing it. But it's an opportunity for the public to look into the time capsule, as you've indicated, so they can see what we went through back in the day when we were there young, when I was 19 or 20 years old. And you know, my love for this aircraft has saved my bacon a number of times. I've had it shot out from under me, not this particular one, but the model. And because of that, I feel a kindred spirit to it. I feel a love for the aircraft. And when I'm in the front seat, that's my office. And I conduct business up there and enjoy every minute of it, because you know, I'm not a young spring chicken anymore, and then to be able to do this and still have an opportunity to fly the aircraft that I did when I was 20 years old, it's quite a miracle, if you want to know the truth about it. But just the fact that we could go across country and see the country the way we did, with the doors open, the aircraft, it's like a carpet ride. I mean, it's really a thrill. And anyone that gets in this aircraft, if you stay around here and watch the folks get on and get off, some of them are a little apprehensive when they get on, but when they get off, they're all smiles, they're happy, they're giving you a thumbs up. And the veterans, the ones that you can really tell that are affected by the aircraft are the Vietnam veterans, because they have the ability to, once they're in here, to think back to those 50 years. And it's closure for them and their families. And that's why we do what we do. And we'll continue to do it as long as I can, as long as my health holds up and I can get in that front seat, I'm here. You can count on me.
Well, I hope that your health holds up for a long time, because just sitting here, you can feel the history, and you can feel your love and passion for it too,
Yes,
which is great. But just some time for last question is, the Friends of Army Aviation, if anybody wants to contribute, or you nonprofit, can they contribute to it? Can they go to a website? What can they do?
Yes, sir. If you're interested in what we do, we have a website. It's called thefriendsofArmyAviation.org. You can go up and you can follow us. We have our calendar, the various events that we go to. We also have the capability on that website. If you want to become a member, you can. If you want to donate to our website, you can also do that. Everything that you donate to us is a tax exemption. We will provide a write-off for you for the IRS if you need that. And again, we're not in this to make money.
Right.
All of us are volunteers, and like I said before, we do it because we love the aircraft, we love what we do, and we love the people.
Well, I know, Doc, we could talk all day long, and I'm sure you have some great stories to tell, but you guys need to go on the website, and we'll put that on the bottom of the screen so you can take it and look at it, and really, you know, Doc loves it. You can tell a passion he has for it, but these are the guys who really risked a lot for us and for our freedom, so check it out. I'm Chris Barrett for PTN, the Pocono Television Network. As always, thanks for watching.
Pocono Raceway is celebrating 50 years in 2021, and what a way to do it, with a successful NASCAR doubleheader weekend in June, and now a return of the Airshow. More on that in a bit. Thanks for listening to Pocono Mountains Podcast. You can subscribe to us anywhere podcasts are available, and leave a review and or comment.
The Great Pocono Raceway Airshow is back. Don't miss it. See a World War II plane dogfight. Watch the Super Chipmunk tumble and spin in midair. The Geico Sky Typers will paint the sky. And the United States Air Force Thunderbirds will rock you out of your seats with their precision and speed. Tickets start at $20 for adults and $10 for kids 12 and under. Go to PoconoAirshow.com for tickets.
We're back. Thanks for listening to Pocono Mountains Podcast. I'm Jim Hamill. Now for a Pocono Mountains Podcast Extra from a recent episode of Pocono Mountains Magazine. Brianna Strunk has more on the return of the Airshow to Pocono Raceway this weekend, August 21st and 22nd.
Here at the Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, all the action is usually centered on the track, but for a weekend in August, it's all eyes on the sky as speed takes a new turn here at the Tricky Triangle. From the cars to the clouds.
I'm looking forward to see the airplanes.
The Great Pocono Raceway Airshow is cleared for takeoff on Saturday, August 21st and Sunday the 22nd, with hours of aerobatic entertainment and incredible performances.
I never seen airplanes like this, so it's really fun.
Pocono Television Network captured the video you see in this story in August 2019. The first and only other time Pocono Raceway hosted an air show. Now, 2 years later, it's back and bigger than before.
We'll always be a racetrack, we'll always be a motorsports facility, but we also see ourselves as an entertainment facility. So going forward here at the Raceway, we want to offer a mix of motorsports and various entertainment.
Fans say this is the perfect place for an air show with grandstand seating and uninterrupted views.
It's not something you can just go to every weekend, so it's a great reason to get out with your family, just see something different.
And while looking up, you never know what might come down.
I saw some parachute guys come down from the plane.
Watch daring twists and turns, some planes practically touching the track.
It's amazing. My heart is in my throat, and I'm like just pounding. I love this. This is great.
The fanfare area features a carnival, kids' activities, plus military displays and vehicles. In 2019, this restored Huey helicopter from the Vietnam War was on display for educational purposes.
From the time they opened the gates, we have not sat down. We have had people being the pilot, taking pictures, being the gunner, and I would hope that this tradition continues to live. It's great.
Kids and kids at heart love the hands-on interactive experience that fanfare offers.
There's a whole bunch of buttons, which I know how to make this actually work. You have to just go like that.
Before the first bomb falls. Tora!
The 2019 Great Pocono Raceway Airshow took a solemn turn during this reenactment of the Pearl Harbor attack.
To me, I thought it was really good. I could just imagine being there.
For veterans especially, it was emotional.
The dedication to the veterans and in their effort during the war, I really appreciated.
The air show this August features all new performances and fanfare activities. So bring your family and phone to capture once-in-a-lifetime memories.
No, had no idea what to expect, and I'm very pleased and excited.
Don't forget, the Great Pocono Raceway Airshow takes flight August 21st and 22nd, 2 days of the same great show. And the United States Air Force Thunderbirds are the headlining act. Get your tickets now on PoconoAirshow.com. For Pocono Television Network, I'm Brianna Strunk.
The Great Pocono Raceway Airshow takes off this weekend, August 21st and 22nd at the Tricky Triangle at Long Pond with the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds and so much more. Find out more at PoconoRaceway.com, where you can get your tickets last minute for the show in the sky. Please remember to subscribe to Pocono Mountains Podcast anywhere podcasts are available. Come visit us in the Pocono Mountains. Plan your trip today.